Hey, what's up everyone? WyattXM here, everyone's favorite YouTuber who stutters and mispronounces, and today, originally I was supposed to do my little interview with my guest, but he was busy, so it's going to be delayed until Wednesday. Still looking forward to it regardless. But anyway, I have a thought video about a somewhat, I guess you could call it a subgenre, some people consider it, called war metal. Now, from what I gather what war metal is, and apparently I should know since I listened to it apparently by some people by what they call it, war metal is pretty much black metal, death metal, thrash metal, and all the like extreme genres of music just combined into one another, and a majority of that, like I said, is black death, grind, and thrash. And bands that are considered war metal: Revenge, Proclamation, Titan Blood, Blasphemy, Beherit, I've heard from time to time is considered that. And what I'm trying to get here is, like, what do you consider war metal? Or do you even consider it a genre in general? Because a lot of the time when people bring up Revenge, pretty much everyone has when in a collection update, they'll always say, like, it's a black death metal or war metal, I guess. And everyone says that. And I'm just, like, trying to figure out still to this day if that's really even a subgenre, or is that just a short way of saying black death metal. That's what I'm trying to get at here, because when I was starting to get really into this style of music, black metal and death metal more and more, I noticed a lot of people I watched always considered it war metal. And I just thought, if bands have this, sound that is just, speed and intensity throughout, like, again, bands like Titan Blood and Revenge and whatnot, that's war metal. And another thing, I guess, that always made me think, all right, this has to be war metal, is that not only the look of people looking like with the, face paint and, the bullet belts and everything looking like they're legit going to war, but it's just the theme, it seems like, of war and carnage, destruction, and everything like that. So I always thought bands like that were considered war metal. But really, a lot of people don't even consider it a genre in general and just consider Revenge, Proclamation, Titan Blood, and other bands like that black and death metal. And as I'm, venturing more into the style of music, I'm starting to realize now that I'm just considering them black and death metal. Yeah, and, a lot of people who consider it war metal would then say black death is stuff like Behemoth, Archgoat, Belphegor, and Hate, shit like that. And what I'm trying to wonder is, with your thoughts on this, is that do you consider war metal an actual genre of music, or do you just think it's black death metal and people just want to call it war metal because it's just a more intensified version of black death? It still has black metal and death metal in their sound, but it's just more intensified. All right, and I understand where people are coming from. Don't get me wrong. All right, because both Revenge and Behemoth are black and death metal bands, but both sound very different. Behemoth is the more grander type that has more of a melodic stuff, melodic riffs and whatnot, and the vocals are a little bit easier on the ears, and it's still massive and triumphant sounding. But then you have Revenge, which is just straight up chaos, and it just sounds like a fucking massive clusterfuck of destruction is just crashing on you repeatedly. So I can understand why people would say it's war metal, because again, some black death metal bands are completely two different sounds, okay? And you have black death metal bands that have that more ritualistic, nightmare sound, and then you have bands that have that war themed, just destruction on top of carnage sound, like Titan Blood. So that's what I'm trying to ask here. Do you consider war metal an actual genre, or do you just consider it black death metal and people call it war metal just for a more simpler thing to say? So that's what I'm trying to ask here. Either way, if you call it black metal or war metal, it really doesn't matter, because it's music still and we all enjoy it. But I just want to know your 2 cents on this subject that a lot of people have different answers on. So that's it, and yeah, thanks for watching, liking, supporting, and subscribing. You guys are the fucking best, and good listens.